Welcome to Secular Soup. Stay tuned for real talk about atheism, feminism, politics, parenting, and whatever the fuck else Amy and Amy want to talk about, because this is their show. And get ready for a whole lot of motherfucking profanity.
You want to hear a secret?
I won't tell anybody. Go ahead. If I sit next to you, I'm going to get gonorrhea. It's going to jump into me. Just two ladies hanging out.
Is it okay for me to make fun of his neck waddle if I make fun of my own neck waddle?
I'm not sure.
That's a real ethical conundrum.
Would you know if you were born a lizard person, or can you be like adopted into the...
I think you know.
We're such professionals.
We really are.
Buckle up, bitches. It's time to have some soup.
I'm Amy with a Y.
And I'm Amy with an I.
And we're just two blueberries floating in a bowl of tomato soup. And I'm amazed I'm even recording right now because my mic didn't work and then my recording didn't work. I swear to God, it's like half an hour after when we were supposed to record, but my cords keep falling out of the mic. Amy's phone
I had something
keeps
just
going off.
Apparently. I don't even know what happened. Sorry.
It's the devil or God.
I will
God hates
mute
us.
that.
I mean, that's what I figured out.
I was just looking on like Facebook or something just really fast because I was just checking to see what I have going on later. And it was one of those ads that just immediately starts playing, and I had forgotten to mute it earlier because I watched one of the videos. Okay.
I figured it was just like your porn alert or something. I don't know. Whatever.
Right. There's new porn in the universe somewhere.
Yeah.
That goes off constantly.
Yeah, I'm literally sending a text message as I'm trying. So I'm multitasking right now.
Because we're women, that's what we can do. We don't have to lock our phones up like the male podcasters do.
I'm actually trying to reschedule a U-Haul pickup via text while I podcast. So what we were going to talk about...
I usually take podcast selfies too. I'm like, I can't talk to you, I'm recording.
I keep forgetting to do that. But I usually look like shit when we're recording.
Oh,
so,
I just showered and I scrubbed my skin raw because it's so dry right now. So yeah, I'm not going to take any kind of selfies.
Yeah, no, I need to shower. It's been too long and I just look like hell. So, and I'm still getting over this cold, so I kind of sound weird in case anybody's wondering. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to live. We'll see. We'll see how that shakes out.
Well, I'm just trying to get a job at this point.
Yeah.
I had 2 job interviews yesterday, so that was good.
How did they go?
They both went really well. The second lady that I interviewed with, I'm pretty sure she's a bitch, and not in a good way.
Yeah. Not a delightful bitch.
Like her, and so that made me not want to, and it made me not want to work for the entire company that she represented, which is really sad because she's just the hiring person for
I get that.
offices that are elsewhere. Like, she's just a remote hiring random, like, headhunter person. But I didn't like her enough that I'm going to take all the other jobs over that one. Plus, they want a drug test, which is some bullshit.
No, fuck that.
Sorry.
Fuck that. I
was at my friend's house yesterday. I'm like, oh, they're going to drug test me. Hand me that. Like, I literally filled out my paperwork for LabCorp. Can you pass me that, please? I'm not saying I did anything illegal. I'm just saying things were passed.
If you're getting a job like long haul truck driving or operating heavy machinery, then I get it. But if you're fucking working in an office, they can just fuck right off with that drug testing.
Right. Like they were like, well, your job details. I mean, I have some specific tasks that I do because we've talked about it before that I have like kind of a niche skill set. Yeah. But then then they're like, so then you're going to just, scan paperwork and then you're going to do this and you're going to, are you familiar with this software? I'm like, yeah. And they're like, so you're just going to be entering stuff and calling people. I'm like, okay, cool. So I can't have smoked weed in the past month ever.
Totally can't be high to do that. No.
I mean, I should be high to do it.
It's important work,
It's probably going to be legal. Honestly, my theory is that Trump's going to make weed legal really, really soon because he wants that libertarian vote.
I feel like he'll wait till... Right
you think it's going to be
primary?
Closer?
Yeah, I think it'll be close for the election. He just
released all of those black offenders that were it was their first offense. Okay, I'm sorry, but why would you do 20 years if it was your first minor drug offense?
That's what we do to black people. I mean,
Okay, not entirely. The amount of weed found on people had to have been significant enough for it to be a felony.
I don't know. This country's fucked up, and
I mean, the country is really, really fucked up, but also I don't think it had to do with as much of it being a black man as it was the level of charges also. I don't know. Maybe that's a controversial stance.
The justice system is a piece of shit. So
the justice system is an absolute piece of shit. And I think all drugs need to be legalized and then just tax the shit out of them. Clean out the prisons. I agree with letting people out. Absolutely. Just tax the shit out of it. Make sex crimes legal too. You know, make it safer for people. I'm 100% on board with that. I'm just saying you can't sit there and hold this person up as an icon and say, it was just a first offense. It's a minor charge. He was serving 20 years. It's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. You had me at first offense, minor charge.
Yeah.
20 years? Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
You know, because if it was like an ounce or something and it was, you know.
I don't know. You'd be surprised what they lock people up for. I watch a lot of crime documentaries. But there's also
different levels and different amounts. And then they have, like, whether it's a federal offense or just a misdemeanor.
You've really looked into this, haven't you?
Have you been
studying the getting into a new side hustle?
No. I have family members that are in the in the
in the DEA. No. In the clink. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean both.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That's good.
So yeah. Okay, that was my little rant.
What we were going to talk about today was not drugs, although that's always a fun topic, but we wanted to talk about parenting and like some really bad parenting techniques that you should definitely not do, like hitting your children, yelling at them, calling them names. I don't know.
It seems like, so I'm not the world's perfect parent. I'm a damn good mom, but I don't think I'm the world's perfect parent. Yeah. Okay, well, I'm aspiring to be you, obviously. Yeah. But, you know, I'm a damn good mom, but it took me a long time to get to where I can actually honestly look at myself and say, I'm a damn good mom. Because it's a learning curve. It absolutely is. And no one is told how to parent, especially if you're raised by people that are kind of fucked up, which we all kind of were. Mm-hmm. We all come into it with our own damage.
Yeah.
So it seems like recently in... you know, people that are close to me, there's either one extreme or the other where you're either way, way too permissive and basically being a butler to your children. You know, instead of actually parenting, you're in the act of buttling. So you just pick up all their trash, you clean up all their stuff, you fold all their laundry. And that is detrimental to them because they can't do shit. They don't know how to be a grown...
Wait.
They're not learning to be a grown human person.
You're not supposed to do that? Why did you wait to tell me this until now? Like,
right?
That's all I do.
Every other weekend, we have a combination of 6 kids. Mm-hmm. We have a lot of kids.
Because you're like the Brady Bunch.
Because I'm like the Great Brady. Because I have 3 and he has 3. And so we have a combination. And this past weekend, we had 4, I believe.
Ugh. You just picked up an extra on the way?
I think so. So it was funny because we were... And it's my kids, because my ex is in the buttle category. He's in the buttle. He just picks up everything for them. He cleans everything. He just does everything for them. And so one of them, I was like, hey, since you got out these blankets, can you please fold these blankets? And they literally looked me dead in the eyes, fell over sideways onto a chair and said, oh, I can't. I give up. I just looked at him. Yeah, that was my reaction. I was like, are you freaking kidding me? Like,
yeah.
They were like, how do I fold? I'm like, you match the corners. Like, I showed them. I walked them through it step by step. Mm-hmm. I said, here you go. Let me show you. And they're like, I didn't get it. And so I'm like, okay, I'm not going to fold all your blankets. Solid move, though. But I folded like 2 and let them watch it. And then they did the next one. But they sat there like crying. And I knew that this is because they're buttled on the times that they're not at my house. And I get it. I want someone to do everything for me all the time, always, too.
Right.
But you also, at some point in your life, have to step up and be like, okay, if I want to, you know, be healthy, I need to not just eat Twizzlers today, which is kind of triggering because that's all I've had today. Twizzlers and whiskey. Mm-hmm. Okay, yes. Strong disagree. But if I want to feel better and if I want to sleep better, I kind of need to eat, you know, something that actually makes me feel good. Like, I know I'm lactose intolerant. I'm not going to drink a glass of chocolate milk and then expect to not, you know, be sick tomorrow.
Right. Kind of how I shouldn't eat popcorn because I'll end up in the hospital. So, but I still like popcorn.
Makes me so sick. But we went to see the movies last week and we refilled that popcorn tub twice. And I was so sick later.
I went 2 weeks ago and I ate just a little bit because we went to see the that RPG movie. And my brother got some popcorn, so I ate a little bit of that, but it was bad. Yeah. No, the movie was good. The popcorn was bad. The movie was good.
I went to go see the Rebel Wilson movie. So good.
Oh.
That, isn't it romantic?
Yeah.
It was so funny. No. I went with Gentleman Caller, and we were both laughing so hard we were crying. And he's not someone who laughs out loud, typically. And he was laughing out loud. And then we decided that everyone in front of us, in the row in front of us, was a sociopath because no one was laughing. And it was a fucking hilarious movie. And so he was, the whole way home, he was like, I'm really bothered by those people that didn't laugh. I'm like, I know, honey. He was like, no, seriously. There were some points that I was laughing out loud and almost crying, and they were just like silent. And that bothers me. Like, I get it. It's bothersome.
See, I would be the silent person because I'm dead inside. So I can watch something really funny and just remain silent the entire time. Whereas Mr. With a Y will laugh at fucking everything. See,
that's me. I laugh so hard at everything.
Oh yeah, you can hear it shake the whole house because he'll be laughing at some fucking YouTube video or something, and it's just like, just calm down. It's not that funny. Oh my god! What were we talking about?
Buttling. The parenting.
Yes.
So the buttling is a problem that I've noticed in my own life because I feel like I have to almost counteract it with being like the hard line. Mm-hmm. You know, I have to draw those boundaries and I have to be firm because I want them to see both sides and kind of make a decision that maybe there's a happy medium or something. I'm not kicking their asses, but they, you know, probably. I mean, sometimes I wish. I mean, my son's going to be 16 on Monday. Totally wish I could just roll him one day, just take him out back and beat the shit out of him.
I get it.
But no, I mean, just having those boundaries, those clear lines instead of, but mom, or, it's hard. And then they just fall over and give up. I can't allow that. I can't.
Yeah.
So then, but then the other side is, this is kind of a controversial subject. This is something that's always up for heated debate.
Oh, we'll get hate mail. Don't worry.
Okay, cool. Is spanking. I have literally always been against spanking, even when I was a Mormon mom. I'm solidly against raising a hand to your child in a disciplinary manner.
Right. We
were recently told this past week that it's something that, and I'm going to quote this person that told me, quote, engages the fight or flight instinct in a child and teaches them the right, because then they instinctively know that when they're scared, they need to just listen to you. To which that statement alone made me sick to my stomach, because why would you want your child to have a flight or flight response to you?
Right. When you first told me that, I thought, when I took my son in for counseling for the first time because of his major anxiety disorder, that's the way they described it to him, is that your brain has a problem with the fight or flight response. And so and I'm like, so basically what you're doing by spanking your kid is giving them problems with anxiety when you could avoid that.
And you're teaching them to fear you.
Yeah, you don't want to fuck with the fight or flight response in your kid's brain if you can help it.
And so I understand, like, there have been moments when my kids, like, run into the road or try to touch fire, and it makes me, like, you have that response.
Right,
like,
yeah.
And sometimes it's a little intense and it scares them, but it also scares them because you're scared for them. Then I usually cry because I'm me. And I'm just like, no, I was so scared. I was afraid you would get hurt. Please don't run into the road. It's so scary. You know, that kind of thing. But that scream or response or something is what shocks them into stopping.
Right.
Not hitting them. I can never wrap my brain around. And trust me, I have a 16-year-old child. I have teenage boys. I get it. I can't wrap my brain around hitting them or thinking that it's okay to hit them. And the person that was explaining this to me has a toddler. Oh, hold on.
Okay.
Oh, it's my, so I can explain. I want a burrito very badly because I'm also drinking.
I want one too.
And it's Gentleman Caller. Yeah. Right? I want a burrito. He's asking if I still want him to get it now. Good.
See if he'll bring one to Minnesota.
So there's this Texas chain. It's Taco Cabana. It's very good. And I get the big old bean and cheese burrito, but then I have them add sour cream, lettuce, and tomatoes to it. And it's basically like a massive bean dip in a tortilla. And it is like So good.
I'm and then so you just hungry now. All I've had is a granola bar. Damn you.
I've had like 2 Twizzlers.
Although it is Friday, which is fast food night, so I could just make my husband stop and pick some up. He probably won't, but we'll see.
I think he wants me to see if we can just go afterwards.
Yeah.
Which is fine, but then I have to put a bra on, but whatever.
And pants, probably.
No, I'm wearing pants. They just have a hole in the ass.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm not wearing any, so.
Well, I wasn't, but then the chair is cold. Mm-hmm. So yeah, the other thing is just the spanking. And so she was like, I read some great articles and there's solid evidence that it actually encourages great development. And so I was like, okay, let me do some research because I know that it's actually not a good thing, but maybe she's found some evidence that I haven't. So I read up on it. Everybody, American Child Association, American Psychology Association, American pediatricians, whatever, like everybody straight across the board is solidly in the corner of don't fucking hit your kids.
Yeah.
Everybody. Long-term detrimental effect. All it does is cause them to not trust you. It causes all kinds of anxiety issues. It causes and so I was like, cool. Yeah, let's ask for evidence. And so, yeah, nothing's been issued at this point. So.
Yeah, everything I've ever heard about the only things you hear that are pro-spanking are like grandparents who are like, well, my mom
anecdotal.
hit me my dad hit me with a wooden spoon and I turned out fine and these kids have no respect and like, no, it's...
Yeah, like I was spanked and I turned out fine. Yeah, no, I was spanked and I am not fine. I am solidly not fine. I don't think a lot of my issues are spank related. I think more of my issues are Mormon related, but I think it kind of is entwined.
Yeah.
Some of it. Like my mom used to break wooden spoons on my ass. Like she would hit me so hard that the wooden spoons would splinter and break and then go and get another one or make me go get another one and then like spank me with that one.
See, my parents, I don't think they had the balls to hit us. They just never did. I think my brother and I were scary enough that they could see the look in our eyes and we were not having it. I'm a
scary human, but yeah. I had to grow into that.
My parents are too nice. They just, or maybe it was that we were too good. They didn't need to spank us. I don't know. I'll make a confession. When my children were, I'm going to say like 2-ish, when they're still in diapers, but they're still pretty little and they can't understand what you're saying. There was 1 or 2 times where one of them would go for, like, have keys in their hand going for an outlet. And I would grab one and just swat them on the butt. Like, not, like just the swat on the diaper, not hurting them, but kind of, like you said, shocking them a little bit where they just went, like they stopped doing it because I was so... Like, I could see them electrocuting themselves in 2 seconds, and it's like, you don't know what else to do. So, but it's nothing I would ever do. Like, once your kids are old enough to where you can actually say no or don't do that, and they actually respond to you and turn around, that's for those moments where you're scared like that, that's all you need. You just need to, like you said, just scream no or something loud to get their attention. But there's a certain age at which they're kind of not there yet.
All right, we're back from Amy's massive confession that she's a child beater.
I am. I'm a terrible, terrible, horrible child. But now I like looking at my kids. I shouldn't say. I can imagine wanting to hit them. Believe me, there have been many times where I'm like, I can visualize 100%. Myself hitting you right now. But that's when you have to like walk away or
I just leave the room. I tell them, I'm like, Mommy needs a minute. And they say, why? I'm like, because I can feel my fist curling.
Yeah, especially when they're not in danger. Like I said, it's one thing if your child is in danger, like they're about to kill themselves.
Oh, no, but if they're in your face screaming no at you or calling you some kind of name.
No.
Yeah, you're out. I'm out.
Yeah, no, you just go and take a break because you're the adult. They're not hurting themselves. They're just being an asshole.
They're about to hurt themselves.
Yeah. Yeah, there is no evidence aside from the Bible that says that spanking is good for your children. Everything that's been studied says that it just teaches them not to be able to handle their anger and not to be able to express their emotions properly.
Right. All you're doing is setting them up for a lifetime of therapy.
Yeah. Well, and it teaches them how not to get hit, how to avoid getting hit by lying or hiding.
Okay, so literally that's all it teaches them is how to avoid getting hit by you.
by any means necessary, not by doing the right thing, just by lying about what they did or hiding what they did, or, it's not good for communication.
No. So I don't know if that's to blame, but I'm probably going to find maybe a pathway. So my parents spanked us constantly, for everything. We got spanked for everything. Ugh, and like I said, my mom they would use wooden spoons and they would break them on me. Mm-hmm. And then they were like, go find another one. And I would always pretend like I couldn't find one. And then I'd just run to my room. But I kind of wonder if that led to me being okay or more permissive with abusive relationships later on in my life.
Oh, I'm sure. I have no doubt that there's a correlation.
Although I wish he'd used wooden spoons on me.
Oh my God. No, I think when your parent is hitting you, they're teaching you that the person you love does that to you. The person who loves you, that's acceptable behavior.
That's exactly what they do.
Yeah.
Well, and also, so my mom is the queen of shit talk. Mm-hmm. She'll come in the room and she's just she'll come in, she'll be like, oh, for an example, she'll be like, oh, I guess that's one way to live your life, kind of. That kind of mentality. Mm. Nothing is exactly good enough. Nothing is entirely right. My food's not, if I make something, at least I got it right this time, but I have a long history of not cooking properly, whatever. And so it's just
me.
Exactly. Well, so it's a steady stream of what I'm acknowledging and realizing now as an adult.
Yeah.
Low-level emotional abuse pretty much constantly. Mm-hmm. Now that I'm adult, I call her out on everything. I'm like, no, that's not cool to say. No, you don't do that. Yeah. But I also realize that also came into play. It's that's just what happens. That's how you talk to people. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That explains our relationship, why I talk to you.
Whatever you learn as a kid, that's what you do as a grown-up. That's just...
Exactly.
You mimic what your parents do and you learn that that's how you should treat people. That's why there's such a thing as a cycle of abuse. If you're abused, it's hard to get out of that.
Because you don't know any other way to be.
No.
If you have two people that are from abusive backgrounds, mm-hmm. you kind of set up this perfect storm.
Yeah.
And then you just end up finding new and unusual ways to abuse each other and any children that you bring into it. So it's super fun.
Yeah. Good times.
Yeah. It's great.
We were never spanked. My husband, he told me that one time his mom tried to spank him with a hairbrush or something and he laughed at her. So that was the last time she tried to do that. But, his parents and people of that generation are the ones that will always tell you
they went to go get the switches.
Well, yeah, and they'll tell you that their parents did that and they're better off because of it. But at the same time, they'll tell you stories about how terrified they were of their parents. So in the one breath, they're like, yeah, we need to hit the kids because that'll teach them respect. But in the same breath, they're telling you how terrified they were of their own parents. And yet somehow...
And also, how close are they to them now?
Yeah, not very. Most, most of them fucking hate their parents. So...
Right. My dad, when I was in my early to mid 20s, my grandfather moved in, my dad's dad, because he was dying. Mm-hmm. And he was really mild-mannered, just nice, gentle human who was cool to be around. He was just real fun. He was full of stories. He was just really fun. And he was a Democrat, which shocked my parents to their core, but whatever. So we'd sit there and hang out with him, and my dad used to tell us all the time, this is not the man I grew up with. This is not the man I grew up with. And we're like, okay, cool. He's mellowed in his old age. He's, righted his wrongs, whatever. But he would always tell us that this is not the same man I grew up with. He was he was mean and he was angry and,
Yeah.
So apparently my grandpa was kind of a hard ass.
Yeah, my mom was telling me the other day that, because we were somehow talking about my grandma, her mother, who I was really, really close to and just still kind of worship as a person.
I was close to my mom's mom, too.
But yeah, my grandma was she's everything I've ever wanted to be. I just loved her so much. And so my mom...
Did we have the same grandma?
Probably.
Okay, cool.
That's why my mom's got red hair and so do you. So
yeah, because my grandmother was a redhead.
Yeah, you're probably her long-lost daughter. But no, she was telling me the other day that, and she's told me snippets of things her mom did when she was a kid that don't seem very cool. But to me, it's grandma would never do that. But the other day she was telling me that when she was a kid, her mom used to always apparently she used to play the piano and she used to be a dancer. And she would play the piano and one of the kids would say, "Oh, Mom, that's so pretty. You're so good at that." And she would just yell at them, yeah, if I didn't have so many goddamn kids, I could have done this for a living. And she would just say that
How many
all
kids
the time.
did she have?
5.
Can you blame her?
And she wouldn't just say this. She would say, if I didn't have all you goddamn, like she'd direct it at them. If I didn't have all of you goddamn kids, I could have been a professional dancer. Which just kind of makes me love her more.
Yeah,
like, I feel bad that her kids had to put up with that, but I think that's badass. Like, she's not lying. It's true. If she hadn't had all you goddamn kids. So my grandma
was scandalous. My grandma she was scandalous.
Nice. I love that.
She was a divorcee. She was married to this man who hit her.
Mm-hmm. Oh, my grandma was too. Oh my God.
In the 30s and 40s, and she divorced him.
We have the same grandma.
She straight up divorced him, and she was a divorcee with 4 kids, which is crazy scandalous.
Yeah.
And then she picked up my grandfather's brother at a bar while smoking in Utah, and she went home with him. And then met his brother, who is my grandfather, got married to him eventually. You know, they dated and she got married to him and had 5 more children with him.
Oh,
so she had 9 children. But scandalous woman. And she basically looks like me, only stretched out because she was taller than me because I'm tiny.
Yeah.
Because my grandfather was the one I got the short jeans from.
Oh, yeah.
So she was like, yeah, she looks basically like me with like dark red hair and stuff. But
yeah, I get told that a lot, too, that I look like my grandma.
Super scandalous human person.
Yeah, my grandma was married to an abusive guy in the 40s, I want to say. Mm-hmm. And I think I've told this story before, but they lived in a different state, and she had a baby with him, and he was so abusive that she finally was able to flee. Like, she came back to her parents in Minnesota, but she had to leave the baby there, and he ended up raising she never saw her child again until he was like, I think she saw him once when he was 12, and then she didn't see him again until he was like in his 30s, because her ex-husband had raised him to believe that his mother abandoned him and that she was a horrible person. And really, she had escaped this horribly abusive relationship. And when she went back for him, she tried to go back for him, and he had changed all the locks, and the law was on his side, because back then he could just say she abandoned him.
I mean, you can still say that, but it has to be, now there's time limits. Like, you can't just claim abandonment.
Now they'll actually pay attention to, my husband was beating the shit out of me. Like, back then it was...
yeah, but they won't. There's some things they just ignore.
That's true. But yeah, then she met my grandpa and then had, the 5 other kids. That was... But yeah, it's a very just sad story. And then fast forward
They would have been friends.
They really would have. I feel like my grandmother,
she taught special education in Utah.
Oh my God, mine taught special education too.
Oh my gosh.
Holy
shit. That's so funny. And my grandma was tall. Like, she was almost 6 foot.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
we're gonna
crazy.
have to, this is like Parent Trap. We're going to have to send pictures
Yeah.
To see if we have the exact same grandma. Because maybe she was more scandalous and had two separate families.
Ooh.
One.
It's like grandma disappears sometimes.
In Minnesota. Yeah.
I really doubt it, though,
was
because
with
that's
my
real far.
family. Okay, well, it could be.
I mean, from Salt Lake to Minnesota is pretty far.
I've seen The Parent Trap a lot of times, and this is usually how it turns out. So
she was just one of those hardened Scandinavian women, you know?
Yeah,
that's just pretty much.
Mine was German, but yes, very hardened. And she would tell me all the time that if a man hits you once, he's going to hit you again. So that was like her number one piece of advice to me. If a man hits you one time, he's going to hit you again. So you leave him.
And then she told me if the sex isn't good, the marriage isn't worth it.
Oh, mine never said that, but I could see my grandma telling. She did tell me to get on birth control when I was 14.
Mm-hmm. And then I got my ear pierced, like the cartilage piercing, the top of my ear, when I turned 18.
Yeah.
And my mom was visiting, and my mom was like, "Oh, look at that. Isn't that horrible?" And she was like, "That's cute. Where'd you get it?"
Oh, no. My grandma took me to get my ears pierced when I was 5 without telling my mom.
That's fantastic. See, and I feel like if my grandma was still alive, we could get matching tattoos, because I think she would be down with that.
Oh, yeah. So would mine. Mine was when I graduated from high school. I still have the card she gave me for graduation that just said something, on the front it said, like, here's some advice for your future. And on the inside it said, marry money. That's great advice, right? I should have listened to it. But
me too.
She was
I still have a chance.
I wish she would have lived longer. She was so cool. And now I have her wedding ring.
Mine, her aorta deteriorated.
Ugh.
Like, it completely deteriorated. And they gave her 6 months to live. Mm-hmm. She lived for like 5 years with aorta. I'm like,
what?
How?
That's possible?
Not
Was
necessarily.
She a robot? I don't.
She's just stubborn as hell.
That makes sense.
And by the time she passed away, she was married 4 times.
Whoa.
So we jokingly called her Grandma New Name when I was growing up. Because she would be married and then her husband would die and then she'd find someone else at the senior center and she would marry them. And then
that is awesome.
Then they would die and then she would just marry someone else. It was like, what's Grandma's name again? What's her last name now? It's like, okay. Yeah. I just need to, we actually started signing our cards to Grandma New Name because she thought that was pretty funny too.
Now my grandma she was diabetic, and so she ended up having both of her legs amputated, which was horrendous because she used to be a dancer. And so that was, oh shit.
She would have made it if it weren't for those goddamn kids.
Exactly. She would have been a really good dancer if it weren't for those 5 fucking kids that were always annoying her. But yeah, no, she had to have her legs amputated. She had most of her problems were diabetes related. You know, she had a stroke.
Yeah.
And she was, so by the end, like, she wasn't very old when she died. She was, I think, 70. But
mine was almost 100.
No, she would say all the time, I'm ready to go. I'm done. This is, I'm sick of being here. I'm in this wheelchair with, it was just, she was like.
Yeah, my grandma was very old because my mom was down. She was very far down the 9. Mm-hmm. She wasn't in the top, 4 or 5. So.
Oh, my mom was the only girl. She was the youngest, but she was the only girl. So she was very, very special.
That's like my daughter. The only girl.
She was the only girl and she was the only redhead. So she was super, super special.
Right. I get that.
Anyway, grandmas are super cool. We'll have to send pictures after this and see if we have the exact same grandma. I bet we are. It's pretty, My grandma smoked until the day she died, and she was living.
Mine didn't because she became Mormon. She converted to Mormonism because after she picked up a man in the bar, he was Mormon.
Oh, yeah.
So.
As you do. Now, mine lived in a nursing home where they had just recently banned smoking, because this was in the 90s when you could still, they were starting to phase out being able to smoke everywhere. Mm-hmm. So she wasn't allowed to smoke inside the nursing home anymore, so she would just go sit outside in the freezing fucking cold and smoke all day. I mean, we'd go to visit her and we'd be standing outside shivering, and she'd be like just in her wheelchair with not even a coat on, just fucking smoking.
That's funny. So I used to work in a nursing home back in the day.
Yeah.
And that was something that it cracked me up every time, the people that dragged their oxygen tanks out with them and turned them off so they wouldn't explode. God.
Yeah, mine never had an oxygen tank, so she didn't have to do that. But I remember the nurses being all, and the doctors being like, you should really quit smoking. And she'd be like, what the fuck for?
What's the point now?
Like, I don't have any legs left. My one side of my body doesn't work. I'm going to die soon.
It's like the people that already had emphysema, they were like, no, I'm good. I'm solid.
She's like, it's the one thing I enjoy. Just let me enjoy it.
Exactly.
And you can't argue with that. It's the one fucking thing. What's she going to do? Get lung cancer now? Like, her body's already totally fucked. She gets that. She's had a good long run.
Do you want to talk about a mail order or anything? Or
yes,
not today?
Well, you know what? Actually, today we have some Ask the Amieys. Let's do that instead, because I put something on Twitter. So I saw that. We have a couple of questions. Let's just do those.
I do follow you,
Yeah, I'm pretty cool. Did you follow my new account? My new private account?
If I say yes, will you stop asking?
No.
I think I did because I actually liked something you posted yesterday.
Okay. Well, then it probably is.
Okay.
Now let's just see where I'm going to... Did you see the thing where I put that our Patreon dollars are going to Falcon fucking hats? No, wait, Falcon sex hats. No. Did you see? No, you're going to have to look at that one. Somebody had posted about they make these hats that if you have like a pet falcon, they land on it and they have sex on it because that's how you breed falcons.
Okay, I followed you.
So yeah, I just put that's where our Patreon dollars were going to go. And Dr. Dylan, medical detective, is back on Twitter now.
Oh, okay, I don't follow him.
Well, he just got back on Twitter apparently. So when I posted that Falcon sex thing, he wrote back, Johnny come lately over here. I donated my whole collection of Falcon Sex hats last fall. That trend is so over. He's funny. Okay, now I got to find my Ask the Amieys hashtag, which I've been searching that Jussie Smollett hashtag forever, so I need to change this up to Ask the Amieys.
Oh my god, I actually saw that
whole Jussie. I just don't fucking get it. I don't get why you would do that. It's the whole thing just blows my goddamn mind. The Jussie Smollett thing where he faked that attack on himself. The guy who's in Empire. No?
Yeah, I haven't seen any of it.
Okay, well, he said he got attacked in Chicago and that it was a hate crime because he's gay and he's black and they put a rope around his neck. It was this whole thing. Now they're saying he paid these guys to do it because he was trying to get attention, because he wanted a higher salary on Empire. And, it's this whole thing, and it's great because...
You should just be a better actor then.
Well, now all of the racists are coming out saying, see, this one black guy did this one thing, and now he's the racist. And it's a shit show on Twitter right now.
Did they use the term reverse racism?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
that's always a fun one.
Yeah, and Trump tweeted about it. You know, he had to take the opportunity.
Oh, yeah, I follow Trump on Twitter, but I just don't see it very often.
Yeah, because there were a lot of liberals at first saying, no, he did not. You know, when it first started coming out that maybe he faked this, people were like, no, we need to believe the victim, and as you would expect. And as soon as it came out that he was in custody and that they have evidence that he faked it, I mean, oh my God, the right is just so pleased with themselves right now. Okay, so Ask the Amieys. I'm going to switch gears here.
I see Wayward Willis chimed in. I don't want to hear what he has to say.
That was the first one, and I answered him on Twitter already, so I'll just read it and read you my answer.
I'll answer it too.
Yeah.
But my answer is aligned with yours.
Yeah, it's a basic answer. I don't know why he bothered asking, but...
Yeah, he should know the answer. He knows better than this.
Exactly. He said, you own an island from all the Patreon dollars you make. What qualifications do people need to meet in order to be admitted onto your island? You're the supreme ruler, so there are no limits on the rules you can impose. So...
All of the cis white males are in Canada already, so they obviously are disqualified.
Yeah, we don't need to worry about them.
Nope.
I told him we'd have to chew on it a little bit, but that in case he's wondering, he does not get onto the island, so that goes without saying.
That's a solid line.
Nobody on the Wayward Willis podcast is coming onto our island ever.
Anyone who's ever been on the Wayward Willis podcast is coming on the island, except for us.
Good point, yeah. And... even if you pay us like $30.02 a month, you can't be on our island. There's no amount of money that gets you on that island.
But you can try.
So, I mean, I'm going to make an exception for Andy, our listener and Patreon donor. He is a cis white male, but he's sufficiently humble about it. And he bought me a necklace yesterday. So I'm going to let him come onto the island as the sole cis white male. I asked for it on Twitter, and he just bought it because he's fucking cool.
I might vote him off just because where's mine?
Exactly. Well, you didn't ask for it, and I did. So, first come, first serve, bitch.
I actually don't know what it looks like. So
he lives in the same town I do, so he can get the necklace to me once he gets it shipped. So, yeah, I know him in real life.
I guess.
He's sufficiently quiet and, doesn't take up all the air in the room like some people on the Wayward Willis podcast. Anyway, he can come. Maybe Dr. Dylan will think about it. But other than that, it's probably just going to be us and no children. I mean,
yeah, for sure.
Maybe a few hot guys
He had a question of who would you push off your deck into the deep, deep, deep snow?
Oh, yes. And I said
honestly don't understand that question because I don't know what a snowbank is.
Mm-hmm. So snow is smothering the life out of me right now. And I
don't understand any of that. I had to wear a sweater yesterday.
Oh my God. Did you see that I changed your name on Hulu? I hope you saw that. So, okay.
Yeah, because I changed mine on purpose. Yeah. I had to Google how to change it because the gentleman caller had changed it before and I got tired of that one.
Oh my God. Amy and I have a war on Hulu where she changes her account name and then I change it to something else.
No, I don't know how to. I hadn't changed it before.
Okay. Well, gentleman caller changes it and then I change it back. So it used to be that bitch. Because you're using my Hulu account. So I feel like I can change it to whatever I want.
Sometimes.
And I do it to my kids too.
It just happens.
Yeah. I write terrible names for my kids and stuff and it's a fun game. We just change each other's names. So gentleman caller changed it to Mega Pretty Lady, which I thought was pretty funny. But then you changed it to it's 67 degrees here today, and I just wrote changed it back to I hate you so much. So
yeah, I'm just leaving it. It's fine.
Snow is the fucking worst, and I'm so tired of it. It's the only nice thing is my husband drives a snowplow, and so we do make money the more it snows. But the money's not even worth it at this point. Right. I'm so tired of it. Oh my God.
I get it.
Anyway.
Well, and then Dr. Dillon, medical detective, wants a medical mystery.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about that, and I have one for him that I could just throw out there now, and then I could give the answer at the end of the show after the creed. So he can listen to it now and he can think about it, and then if he wants the answer, he can just fast forward to the end of the show. Well, don't do that. You got to listen to the rest of it. But after the soup creed, I'll just say the answer so he won't have to be waiting until next week. So here's my medical mystery. You ready for it? Okay.
I'm ready.
I used to get, and this is way too much information, so if you don't like medical stuff, quit listening right now.
You guys stop now.
It's bad.
Save yourselves.
And it's about lady stuff, so.
Send us money first, then save yourselves.
I used to get constant chronic UTIs just all the time. Like, I just would kind of always have one, and I wouldn't get symptoms with them. I would just find out because I'd go to the doctor and for like my Crohn's disease that Wayward Willis gave me or something like that, or my atomic space herpes. But I would go in and they would need to run a urine test for something else, and they would find out, oh, you have a UTI. And it happened every fucking time I went to the doctor. So I wouldn't have any symptoms. I would just find out I had one. They'd give me antibiotics. It would clear up. It was all fine. Well, at a certain point, it was like, this just isn't healthy to be constantly having UTIs. And I was doing all the things that you're, supposed to do to prevent them. It wasn't a situation where I was doing something wrong, and that's why I was getting them. So I finally had to get...
So you brought the infection on yourself? That's what I'm learning.
Well, so here's the mystery. I had to go get a test to figure out why the fuck I was constantly getting UTIs and having no symptoms, but not doing any of the, I wasn't taking bubble baths or doing any of that shit. So I did find out why I constantly get them, and we solved the problem. So the mystery is, what was it that was causing me to have all those UTIs?
All the sex?
Nope. Nothing to do with sex. Nothing to do with preventative measures. So just listen in, Dylan. I will throw this out there at the end of the creed. So there's your medical mystery. What else did he want? Why do my robots keep getting rebellious? Yeah.
Because you don't spank them enough.
That's true. Yeah.
If robots respond positively to spanking, human people don't.
Mm-hmm. Well, it taps into their fight or flight response, I heard. So you got to keep
research
that working
behind that. I swear. Totes. Solid research.
Yeah.
You're just going to have to trust me.
Totally. I think that's all the questions we got, though. And my fucking voice doesn't work because I've been sick for a week. So let's wrap this shit up.
Okay.
I'm going to read our patrons quickly because, again, I can't talk. And I have a child's birthday party I need to get my shit together for tomorrow.
Are you just attending or are you hosting it?
Well, here's the thing. I'm kind of hosting it, but I'm letting my 9-year-old do all the decorating because I just don't give a fuck. Solid. So I got some, dollar store banners and crepe paper and shit, and I'm just letting him put it wherever he wants. So he started yesterday. There's random banners in the hallway that make no sense. I just don't care. So yeah, this birthday party consists of a cake and 2 of my friends coming over just to use it as an excuse to get together, and then the neighbor kids. So not a big to-do, but still. All right, so so if you want to throw money at us, which we do love, by the way, and if you do throw money at us, maybe you can come onto our island. We'll see. And most of our episodes are better than this one because, we're distracted and I can't talk and we've been texting. It's a whole thing. So at the $1 tomato soup level...
We have been very text-tracted.
Yeah, we're just distracted, and now we have to find out if we're related by our grandmas. It's this whole thing.
I'm pretty sure we are. It sounds like our grandma was the same person who was just traveling between states, like playing Mrs. Doubtfire.
Well, now we're going to have to post pictures of our grandmas, like old-timey pictures.
So she faked her death when she was 70-something and then moved back to Utah to let her aorta deteriorate for the next couple of years.
Could be.
It's like, it sounds diabolical, but, knowing my grandma and yours, sounds like right up her alley.
I've been thinking about faking my own death just to get out of this birthday party.
Dude.
So.
For all these goddamn children.
Right? Yeah, these fucking kids. All these goddamn kids. I could go be a dancer on Broadway.
I don't want to be a dancer on Broadway.
God, I do so much. I wish I had talent. I would love it.
I'm not talented in like any.
All I do during this depression is watch Broadway shows and dance numbers and just imagine I have this whole different life in New York.
See, and I can't dance, but I can actually sing.
Oh, I can't do either, but
cannot dance worth anything because I'm one of those people I can tell my body to do certain movements and then it's like blah, blah, blah. Yeah, like it doesn't do what I'm telling it to do.
I can't dance
like at all.
I can't sing. I did dance in high school. I wasn't good at it then. Not good at it now. So, but still, it would be really fun to be on Broadway. So if you know how to crack a 41-year-old with no talent into the business, let me know. Anyway, $1 level. Let's get this shit over with. We've got Triss, Wendy, Dan Bongino can eat a dick. The Dumb All Over podcast, also not allowed on our island ever. Liz Satan, John, who's probably not going to be allowed on the island either. Just letting you know that ahead of time, John. Freethinker215, Casey, and Dino or Dino. Still not sure how to pronounce that one.
Both.
At our $2 a month level, the chicken noodle level, we have got Nathan Dickey, Kimberly, Rebecca, Verlaine, Sarah, and the aforementioned Andy, although once again, he's at the fucking $5 level and they won't put him up. God damn it, Patreon. I swear to fucking God.
Patreon sucks.
Patreon is pissing me the fuck off right now. $3 a month, we have Jeannie, who you roped into Patreon because you're stealthy. At the $4 a month level, we still have...
I'm just that delightful.
You really are, yeah. At the $4 level, we've got Elvin Engineer. At the $5 level, we've still got Andy, who they keep putting in the $2 level. He's awesome because he bought me a Surly Amy necklace yesterday just because I asked for it on Twitter. And if you have never seen a Surly Amy necklace, go look it up. They're fantastic. So the one he bought me says... Surly Amy, yeah, she stole my name. I think I would be a good Surly Amy. But they're called Surly Ramics, and her name is, her legal name is not Surly Amy. That's what she goes by. But she makes these awesome necklaces and earrings, and they have cute little science things on them, and phrases, and atheist quotes, and they're awesome. And $5, where are we at? Ask and Tell Project, Alice. We've got Dr. Dylan, Medical Detective. Stay tuned, Dr. Dylan, for your answer at the end of the creed. Marissa, Alexa, Lennox, McCool, Jerry, and Alan. We love all of you. Thank you so much. At the $10 a month level, we've got Yesh, who is still owed a bowl. I still need to make that fucking bowl. I'm the worst.
Okay.
Larry,
was it the tardigrade
Randall,
one? Because that one's amazing.
Bowl? What?
No, the necklace.
I don't know. She makes a lot of different necklaces. I have one that says atheist on it, and then it's got like this acronym that's for atheist. And then I've got these space earrings with the pale blue dot on them. And the one that Andy just ordered says Be the Change. But she's got one with like chemistry stuff and space stuff and medical stuff.
This one is tardigrade. It's 2 tardigrades.
Oh, she makes all kinds of different shit. It's awesome.
They're awesome.
Yeah. And she's
Blue Crackle.
She sells it all on Etsy and it's like reasonably priced. And
she's on Amazon.
Is she?
Yeah.
Huh. I don't know. She makes good stuff and she makes it all by hand. It's awesome. And she's an atheist, so we love her.
Gross.
Yeah, she's a heathen. What level is Rich at this week? I think he was 6 last week.
Yeah, because you were being super generous.
I'm in a bad mood this week, so let's go with 32.
Good. I was going to say 51, but 32 is fine. That's a happy medium.
Yeah, you're a 32nd favorite Rich. Probably going to bump to 52 by next week. And before my voice gives out completely
because I'm pretty sure it's his fault I lost my job.
It's his fault that everything happens, so.
I'm pretty sure. I don't know how he swung it, but, well done.
He's sneaky. That's just what he does.
Him and Wayward Willis,
they're in cahoots, I think, to make our lives a living hell.
They cahooted? They cahoodled?
They cahoot all the time. It's their favorite thing to do.
They're deep in cahoot?
Yep. $20 a month. We've got Ashley, the best patron in the whole world.
Fantastic.
Nathan, one of our newer patrons, at $30 a month because he's fucking amazing and still needs a bowl. And I swear to God, one of these days I'm going to make that fucking bowl. I just need to not be sick and depressed. So we'll see how that plays out. And at the top donor spot is somebody called Spite Dollars. I don't know what the fuck that means, but apparently they're giving us dollars out of spite. So whatever, $30.
Still not coming to our island, but cool.
Whatever. Keep throwing that money at us.
Keep throwing the money at us, but you're not joining us on our island.
I can't think of a good name to call him, so I was going to go with Dick, but that seems too basic, so I don't know. Oh, shit. And my microphone cord fell out again, so
All right, I can wrap it up.
So you wrap it up and then wait a couple of seconds and I'll do the medical mystery thing and then we'll turn it off.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
And that's all we've got for now. I'll just cut you off.
Go ahead.
Thanks to all our fabulous listeners who put up with us joining on week after week. If you enjoy our delightful bitchcraft, please like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, and send us all your monies on Patreon. You can find us on these platforms by using the Google machine. It's not hard. This week, your donations will go to a better microphone stand for Amy.
Oh, I really need it. It's been very slapstick comedy this week.
It took us half an hour to get started.
It's bad. And it keeps falling
She was
out.
like, everything that could fall over did.
Yeah. And as we're recording, my fucking cord keeps falling out of my mic. So
funny.
Whatever.
Mine's done that before, but I bent it. No, I don't think it was the right thing to do, but it
works. Whatever
works for the second. Yeah. If you want to tell the world how awful this episode was, join our Secret Soup Talk Facebook group. If you want to tell us to fuck off personally, you can send an email to secularsouppodcast@gmail.com. Please rate and review us on iTunes, Facebook, and wherever else you can review things like this. It will help us spread the soup gospel far and wide. And hey, tell your friends. As always, we'll leave you with the vocal stylings of Mr. Eli Bosnick.
Secular soup creed. Soup is the ultimate virtue. It's delicious, nutritious, patriarchy smashing, racism fighting, warm and fuzzy, human affirming, fun having, anti-theist, glitter throwing, tummy satisfying, pair of new shoes fulfilling, diversity seeking, happiness. Minestrone, beef and barley, chicken broth and split pea, gazpacho, tomato, clam chowder and potato, chicken noodle, beef noodle, egg drop and ramen cup, miso, gumbo, leek and pho. Grab a bowl and taste the magic. Slurp even this.
Okay. And also, I need to tell myself a pro tip. Change your fucking email address from Secular Soup Podcast before sending out job applications. I've had so many applications come back to Secular Soup Pod. I'm like, oh, damn it.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. Okay, well, if I see any come through the email, I'll just delete them for you.
Well, no, it's my own one at Secular Soup because for some reason Google created my own one. Yeah.
That's funny.
So whatever.
Well, you want them to listen to your podcast before they hire you to know what they're getting into.
Yeah, I do not want them to do that.
Okay, so the answer to the medical mystery for this week is that I have the world's most enormous bladder. Apparently, I have an abnormally large bladder. Nobody knows why. I just do. I had to go in and get this whole test where they had to put a camera into my urethra, and I made them knock me the fuck out for that because I was not going to be awake for it.
Oh, I would have been awake for that one.
And as it turns out, I just have a really fucking big bladder for no particular reason, so I need to force myself to empty my bladder more often because I don't need to do it because it's huge.
Just
but then
sits there.
The urine sits there and then you get a UTI. Fun fact.
So I do that too, actually.
Yeah, so enormous bladder.
But then, since I now have kidney disease, I go a lot more often than I used to.
Yeah, see, I don't have the kidney disease, but I did find out this week that...
I mean, you're still young. There's still hope.
That's true. There's still time to develop it.
There's still time to develop all kinds of things.
Last week that I have to go get a colonoscopy, which I have to get every couple of years, and they have to send me to the anesthesia department to knock me the fuck out for this thing because I require that many drugs.
Yep, you're a redhead.
Yeah, usually they just give you like some sedating thing in the colonoscopy unit.
I take that just to go to sleep.
Yeah, no. They gave me that last time and I was still awake. So the doctor actually, as he's scheduling it, looks at my chart and goes, oh, boy, you require a lot of medication to go to sleep, don't you? I think we're just going to have to call anesthesiology. Yep, that's me. Anyway. All right, Dr. Dillon, there's your medical mystery. I'm going to go get ready for a kid's birthday party.
Have fun. I'm going to go eat a burrito.
Have fun with your burrito. All right.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.